What's up? It's Andy Grammer with Jag.
Hi, this is Carly Rae Jepsen, and you're listening to Jag.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Jonas hanging with Jag.
This is Heather Knox, Playboy's Miss January 2012, with the hottest Jag I've ever seen.
It's B.O.B. checking in with my homie Jag. So much swag with my homie Jag.
It's the Jag Show Podcast.
Welcome in. It is season number 3, and I am bringing back 5-Minute Fridays, a quick 5-minute, easily digestible piece of audio for you to find out what's going on in the podcasting space. And today, I want to talk about coronavirus. Shockingly, everybody's talking about coronavirus. I'm actually recording this on Thursday, and last night, Wednesday night, we really did reach a tipping point with this, with all the sports leagues starting to cancel games, the news that Tom Hanks and his wife are infected in Australia. And I'm not going to dissect the politics of this. I am not going to make light of a very serious pandemic now that unfortunately has taken lives and will take more lives. And I'm not going to play the overhype or underhype game. I do take this very seriously, and I'm not making light when I say this. This could be a very big moment for podcasting. Here's why. We know that podcasts are growing exponentially. They did so in 2019. In 2020, podcasting is forecasted to be a $1 billion with a B dollar industry. And I actually am looking forward to next week, the annual Edison Research Infinite Dial survey. Look that up. It comes out next week. It's got some fantastic information every year, and I'm looking forward to seeing the updated numbers for 2020. But podcasting has really been teetering on the edge of how big it's going to actually be. Recent numbers would indicate that over half of Americans age 12 and up have listened to a podcast, and 75% of Americans are at least familiar with the term. And I can tell you from going to different networking events, when I say I do podcasts, I definitely get some eyes that light up in the room. Now, by the time you listen to this, news may have changed. What's going on in the world may have changed. This is an ever-evolving story, and it's changing very, very quickly. But as I sit here recording on Thursday afternoon, the conventional wisdom is that the coronavirus is going to get worse before it gets better. A lot of people are going to be infected. Many don't know they're infected. I don't know what they're going to do about testing and quarantining, but there exists the real possibility that many people will be stuck in their house for a couple weeks, self-quarantined or otherwise, as evidenced by the fact that I went to the Kroger supermarket today and the toilet paper aisle was completely empty. Side note, my wife suggested I buy groceries for 2 weeks in case we got stuck at home. That's not what you want to tell me to do. $240 later. But my point is, a lot of people are going to be stuck at home. A lot of people are going to be telecommuting. And that is really unfortunate for the service industry and the barista at Starbucks who makes your coffee every morning if you're working from home, or gas stations, or you name it. But if you are working from home, that gives you an opportunity to listen to podcasts while you're working, and more importantly, create a podcast. You don't need a $10,000 completely 100% soundproof studio to set up. You need a microphone and an internet connection. And you can get a pretty good microphone for about $50. If this is something you've ever thought about doing, you may be home for a while, this is a great opportunity to start. The hardest part about doing a podcast is starting. And furthermore, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. I work in audio. If you have a presentation that you have to give for work, it's very easy when you're nervous or even when you're not nervous to give a presentation and use those crutch words, and you may have a great grasp of your material, but the more of those stutter and crutch words that you use, the less credibility you have. That's where my editing comes in, is I can take out those ums and ahs and likes and that's what I do with all of my clients, and you have more authority in your field when you are not stumbling around and using those words that we all use. Unless maybe you've taken a Toastmasters class. Bottom line, if a lot of people are going to be at home for an extended period of time, we are going to crave that connection with others. And that might mean FaceTime, that might mean Skype, that might mean Zoom meetings, that might mean any number of ways to connect with people. But people are going to want information. People are going to want to consume information. A podcast is a great way to do that. In fact, I'll mention that I have about a dozen financial advisors that I co-host podcasts with, and they have been thrilled to have the opportunity in the last couple weeks to be able to get the word out about what's going on with the market and what to do and what not to do when the market drops like this, given the coronavirus panic. Side note, don't sell out when the market's low. Ride it out. People who rode it out in 2008 and 2009 ended up doing very, very well when the market bounced back, as opposed to the people who tried to time getting out and time getting back in. That's my financial advice for the day. If you're interested in creating a podcast, I'm going to include in the show notes my referral link to Simplecast, that is your host to get set up on podcast, as well as Squadcast. Squadcast is like Skype, except that the audio quality is broadcast quality and not internet streaming quality. I can get into the specs of that with you if you want to know more. And full disclosure, I am an affiliate for Squadcast and Simplecast, so they are affiliate links. I want to be transparent about that. But if you find yourself listening to podcasts and find yourself in a position where you want to maybe create a podcast, check the links in the show. And of course, reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to help get you started. All my social is Jag in Detroit, JAGINDETROIT.com. My website is jagindetroit.com, and my email is JAG, JAG, @jagindetroit.com. Stay safe. Wash your hands.